If you've ever tried shopping for car insurance, you already know how confusing it is. There are terms no one explains, coverages you've never heard of, and prices that seem to change for no reason. And most people end up either overpaying or being underinsured without realizing it. So today, I'm going to break it down in the simplest way possible, how much car insurance you actually need, what each coverage really does, what's optional, what's worth it, and how modern companies like Lemonade help you customize your policy instead of forcing you into cookie cutter plans. I'm Erin from Insurance Wise. Let's get into it. Why car insurance isn't one size fits all. Before we dive in, go ahead and click the link below. It'll take you right to Lemonade's car insurance page so you can follow along with everything I'm showing. Car insurance sounds simple. You buy a policy, you're covered, and that's the end of the story. But the truth is, car insurance is actually a stack of different protections, and each one plays a completely different role. How much of each protection you need depends on you, your income, the car you drive, how often you're on the road, where you live, and how much financial risk you're comfortable taking on. A lot of people try to save money by choosing the cheapest plan, assuming all insurance works the same. It doesn't. A bare bones policy might save you a few dollars up front, but it can leave you massively exposed when something goes wrong. On the other hand, maxing out every limit and buying every add-on isn't always smart either. You don't want to pay for coverage you don't actually need. Liability coverage, the non-negotiable one. Let's start with the most important part of your entire policy, liability coverage. This is the coverage that protects other people if you cause an accident. Not your car yet, we'll get to that. Liability coverage handles two things. First, bodily injury liability, which pays for things like hospital bills, doctor visits, physical therapy, and sometimes even lost wages for the people you hurt. Medical costs add up quickly, and a single accident can lead to tens of thousands of dollars in bills. Second, property damage liability, which pays to repair or replace whatever you hit. Their car, their fence, their garage door, even a building. And this is where most people get blindsided because cars today are expensive to fix. If you hit a luxury car or a brand new EV, the damage can easily surpass your limits. Here's the part no one explains when you're buying insurance. State minimums are almost never enough. They're designed to be the legal minimum, not the amounts that actually protects you. If your state requires only $25,000 of property damage coverage and you total a $90,000 Tesla, you are personally responsible for the remaining $65,000. That means your savings, your income, your assets, everything is on the line. This is why liability coverage is the one area where you never want to cut corners. It's the cheapest part of your policy, but it protects you from the most devastating financial losses. A smart baseline for most drivers is 100, 300, 100, which gives you meaningful protection without a huge price jump. But if you can afford it, and especially if you have a higher income or assets, 250, 500, 100 gives you significantly stronger protection for not much more money each month. The good news is that modern insurers like Lemonade make this incredibly easy to adjust. You can slide your limits up or down and instantly see how it affects your price. No phone calls, no waiting on hold, no pressure from a salesperson. Just clear numbers that help you make an informed choice. This is the foundation of your policy and the most important decision you'll make. Everything else builds from here. Collision coverage when you damage your own car. Collision pays for your own car if you cause a crash, no matter who's at fault. You definitely want this if your car is worth more than $3,000 to $5,000, you can't afford to replace it out of pocket, you'd be stressed or financially impacted by losing your vehicle. If your car is older and worth very little, you can sometimes skip this, but most people still benefit from having it. Comprehensive coverage. Comprehensive coverage sounds like an optional add-on, but it is actually one of the most valuable parts of a policy. While collision covers accidents, comprehensive covers almost everything else that can happen to your car, especially things you have zero control over. This includes theft, vandalism, broken windows, storm damage, falling branches, and even animals running into your car. If it isn't a crash, chances are it falls under comprehensive. People underestimate how often these events happen. A single storm, a break-in, or a converter theft can cost thousands of dollars to fix, and the price of replacing modern glass, sensors, and electronics has climbed dramatically in the past few years. What makes comprehensive such an easy yes for most drivers is how inexpensive it usually is compared to the coverage it provides. If you park outside, live in a city, travel often, or drive a newer vehicle, this coverage pays for itself many times over. Think of collision and comprehensive as the pair that protects your car from the unexpected, whether that's your mistake or someone else's. Uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage is one of the most overlooked yet most critical parts of a good car insurance policy. This protection steps in when another driver hits you but can't pay for the damage they caused. And unfortunately, that situation is more common than people realize. In the US, nearly 1 in 8 drivers has no insurance at all, and many who do carry only the bare minimum. That means if they injure you or total your car, their policy might not come close to covering your medical bills or repairs. Uninsured motorists coverage fills that gap. It protects you, your passengers, and even you as a pedestrian in some situations. If someone else is irresponsible, you're not stuck paying the price for their mistake. That's why I consider this coverage absolutely non-negotiable. It's inexpensive, it's powerful, and it protects you from being financially exposed because of someone else's lack of coverage. A smart rule of thumb is to match your uninsured motorist limits to your liability limits. If you'd protect other people at a certain level, protect yourself at the same level. Personal injury protection or medical payments. Depending on your state, this may be PIP, personal injury protection, covers medical bills, lost income, childcare, etc. MedPay covers medical bills only. This helps no matter who caused the accident, and it kicks in right away. If you don't have amazing health insurance, this is worth having. Optional but useful add-ons. Modern insurance companies like Lemonade offer flexible extras that can be genuinely helpful, such as rental car reimbursement, roadside assistance, glass and windshield coverage, gap insurance, important if you finance your car. If you drive frequently, commute long distances, or don't have savings, these add-ons are absolutely worth considering. How much coverage do you actually need? Because the answer isn't one size fits all, it depends on your budget, your car, and how much financial risk you're willing to take on. If you're someone who wants full protection, the kind where you never lie awake wondering if something happens, am I covered, then you want higher liability limits, usually in the $250, $500, $100 range. That gives you enough protection for serious accidents, expensive vehicles, and real medical bills. Pair that with collision comprehensive and uninsured motorist coverage in the same limits as your liability, and you've basically built a shield that protects you from almost anything on the road. Add PIP or MedPay so your own medical bills are covered no matter who's at fault, and keep roadside assistant and rental coverage so you're never stranded or stuck paying out of pocket while your car is being repaired. That setup gives you a peace of mind that you're protected from every angle. But maybe you're on a budget and you still want meaningful protection. In that case, you can scale things slightly without exposing yourself. A smart middle ground is liability limits in the 100, 300, 100 range. These are still strong enough to realistically protect you in most accidents. Keep collision and comprehensive if your car is worth anything significant. If losing it would put you in a stressful spot financially, those coverages are essential. And whatever you do, don't skip uninsured motorist coverage. Too many drivers on the road carry minimal insurance, so is your safety net when they can't pay. MedPay is also inexpensive and gives you an easy buffer for out-of-pocket medical bills. And finally, if you're driving an older car that isn't worth much, something where repairing it would cost more than replacing it, then it can make sense to simplify. You still want solid liability limits because that protects you, not your car. One accident can create tens of thousands of dollars in damages, but you can skip collision if the car isn't worth repairing. Comprehensive, however, is still worth keeping in many situations, especially if you live somewhere with a lot of theft, hail, wildfires, or falling tree branches. It's inexpensive and covers many of the risks you cannot control. Think of it this way, you are not just buying a policy, you're deciding how much financial stress you want to take on if something unexpected happens. The right coverage level is the one that protects your lifestyle, not just your vehicle. Why I like Lemonade for car insurance. One thing I really appreciate about Lemonade's car insurance is how simple and transparent the whole experience feels. Instead of giving you a generic rate like most traditional companies, Lemonade adjusts pricing based on how you actually drive, not how they assume you drive. So if you're a safe driver or someone who doesn't rack up a ton of miles, you're not overpaying just to subsidize everyone else. The claims experience is also incredibly fast. You don't have to deal with endless forms or wait days for someone to get back to you. Lemonade's system can review and approve certain claims in minutes, which is exactly what you want when you're already stressed about your car. Another thing that stands out is how seamless bundling is. If you already have renters or homeowners insurance, you can bundle everything together for instant discounts. And if you're switching from another company, Lemonade even helps you cancel your old policy so you're not jumping through paperwork hoops. What makes their model different is the transparency. Lemonade takes a flat fee, pays claims quickly, and if there's money left over at the end of the year, they donate it to causes you choose. It's simple, fair, and honestly refreshing in an industry that's usually anything but. If you like clean interfaces, instant price checks, and a modern approach that actually feels built for real people, Lemonade is one of the easiest and most user-friendly car insurance options out there. So that's exactly how much car insurance you actually need without the confusing jargon or the upsells most people get stuck with. If you want to see how much a policy would cost for your car or check prices with a company that actually shows clear options without pressure, you can use the link down below to get a quote through Lemonade. It takes about 90 seconds. You can see your price instantly, and you can customize everything on your own terms. I'm Erin from Insurance Wise. Thank you guys so much for watching. If this video helped, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.